Hello everyone, Mike Lowe here with SimSportsGaming.com, bringing you the next edition in SSG Weekly, which is a quick stream just recapping all that's been going on in the SSG community over the last week or so, leading into the weekend. It is Thursday evening here. I'm in my home office, just making this recording, just kind of ad-libbing just some of the things that we've seen going on in the last week or so here at SSG. First thing I wanted to talk about actually is a really big shout out to our community for raising funds. We've been raising funds to help keep things going here, paying for server space, security, a dedicated email account, backups, all those different things that we get set up here with GoDaddy.com. Shout out to their customer support, by the way, they're fantastic. But this is 100% community driven, and this is really just since probably about December or November, right around the holidays when it started, that we started raising this here. And so again, this is helping us kind of cover the payments for the 2019 year, of course 2020 coming up, that we are now paid for, but of course we'll be really kind of doing similar fundraising in the upcoming year as well. And donations are always welcomed, and we're incredibly grateful for those, because again, it really comes down to this hobby being able to live here the way we do it, by the community chipping in the way they did, and we're just incredibly grateful for that. So again, I wanted to start there, but just saying thank you so much for going through and really supporting us the way that you have as a community. It's been super awesome to see. So community support, something I wanted to talk about. The rest of the schedule is really going to be looking at a couple of our active leagues here. We have a handful of active leagues, but two of our most active ones, out of the park baseball, which we're going to talk about last, as they're in the midst of the off-season here and it's starting to kind of quiet down. And we will be looking at a brand new league, our newest league here, which is Wolverine Studios Draft Day Sports College Football 2020. And we are starting up a league there. It could be up to 130 participants, and if you think that's crazy, I used to be in a league that had right around 120 or so, and that used to be the number of leagues. That league was called Gridiron Glory, I think it was, and it was a fantastic league. I don't think it's out there anymore, but it was run incredibly well and just really cool to see. So we're hoping to kind of follow in the footsteps of that league and set up something similar. What we're doing at that league, we'll talk a little bit more about on this show here to really get us started. We're going to talk about a very exciting new member of the SSG community, Tiger Fan, as you may know him from the Out of the Park forums and Wolverine Studios forums. And then, as I mentioned, we'll talk about the SSG off-season here coming up. So let's go ahead and really start with the first item there that was on that agenda after the huge shout-out in the announcements there. And that's this. Is that Wolverine Studios, their brand new Draft Day Sports College Football League this is software that's currently it's in an open beta. So if you purchase the game, you pre-order the game, you get access to the game right away, and you get to be part of the beta community, which has been super helpful, and is a really good way for you to try and get some of the little tweaks in the game that maybe you're hoping to get, or future suggestions for the game. But what we're using it for as well is to start building out and developing our league. Perhaps most exciting of all is that we were recognized as the first ever featured league by Wolverine Studios, and Gary at Wolverine Studios has set this up in a way where leagues are expected to carry a certain quality level, right? So certain expectations of putting out media such as this, little streams and things like this talking about the league and game. And a number of other things that we'll be expected to do to make sure the league's a good experience for the participants. And again, of course, utilizing the software there from Wolverine Studios. So we're super excited to be the first league to be featured like that. My goal, and I'm being very honest about it, I'm not afraid to be ambitious with it. I want to have 130 people in this league. So that is something I am going to continue to push for. And it takes a lot of work. It takes more than just me, but it really makes for a fun experience. And so we also are a unique league in that, as you can see here on the screen, we simulate just once a week. We are going to be replaying the 2019 season to line up with the start of the 2020 season. We're now in January, of course, in real life, and the college football season's over. So what we want to do, though, to try and get us used to the software, start building up the community for this game, and to prepare us for the start of the 2020 season is to start with a kind of a replay of the 2019 season. And so that's what we're doing there. We're going to still be following that real-time weekly schedule, so there's one game a week. This is one of the only leagues I've seen that sets up their college football universe this way. You have an entire week to game plan, to come up with plays, to come up with strategy, to work on recruiting. You're not forced into an accelerated schedule. And there's plenty of leagues out there that sim really quickly, and those are fun. I've been part of those leagues too. But life can get in the way, and those can be hard to keep up with. And so the beauty of this league is it works really well as a complementary league to even other leagues you're in, because it's not going to take up all of your time throughout the week to get your team ready and so on. And so, again, that's just something that I think can make this league really, really unique. Of course, an active community of content creators where there's videos like this. And again, once we get into the season more, of course there'll be more specifics to talk about in the league. And as I mentioned, starting with 19, going into 20. And not just content from the commissioners and so on, or people like me with the site, but just even some of the different members in the league, and Tiger Fan as well, who's going to be covering the league for us, which I will be talking about momentarily. So again, really, really exciting. If you want to join us, there's a couple ways you can do it. On the website, there's a league application section. If you go over to PC Leagues and you click on the DDS College Football link, that will load up the application for this league. It gives us just the basic information that we need to get you set up into the game and so on. We're looking for people who are active, right? And so not just active on our Discord chat, but who are active in creating content. And again, it's not something you need to do every day or even every week, but if we have dozens and dozens of people in this league, putting something out there every month or so can suffice for sure, and it adds a lot to the league. So that is something we're looking for. It's not completely mandatory, but it's definitely something as we're looking to decide, well, who wants what team and that sort of thing. It definitely helps us kind of slot people where we think it can be best for the league. So again, that's the form you can fill out there. The other way you can join us is by clicking on this connect button on our Discord widget. If you click there, that will take you into that chat where I showed you the announcement at the beginning of the stream. And then from there, you'll land in like the welcome section of that page, but you will be able to go in and set up yourself in whatever channels you want. You can actually just you can join the leagues yourself by just typing in. There's a short code in there that's pinned to the welcome section, and then you can get yourself started up there in whatever league you want, and then even start contributing content already. So those are some things that we're seeing already from people who've just joined this week for different leagues. So really, really cool to see there. So again, that's the league going on. We also even we actually went ahead and simulated about 5 years of history, because again, with this league, we don't have the real life rosters, right? So the rosters are fictional, but all the teams, as you can see, are real. They're based on their real life counterparts. And what we did is we actually started this league in 2014, simulated 5 years. So basically when the BCS ended and this 4-team tournament started, that's where we backed things up, because with all the conference shifting, we figured that would be a good place to start. Things have kind of smoothed over as of the 2014 season. And that's what we did. We simulated right ahead, and it's been really interesting to see. You won't be able to see all of the history just yet because I haven't uploaded the archives yet, but we do have archives for each of the different seasons. Central Florida won the national championship twice. They went undefeated twice. Ohio State won 2 national championships in those 5 years, and going undefeated one of those times. And I believe the other national champion was Clemson in the 2014 season. So you can see that the teams that are bolded, it might be a little hard to see on this screen. Actually, I don't know if they're showing up properly, but usually you'll be able to see what teams are open. If you go to league owners, you'll see here, obviously, lots of open teams as we just started this week, but we're slotting people in here every day or so as the applications come in. And again, lots of really, really good teams, or starting in the MAC or something like that, or in the Sun Belt's your thing, that's totally fine too. And I know one of the things we're looking to do with this league is we want to have conference presidents. So we want to have some people who can get together and talk about maybe shifting teams over. For instance, I took the Texas Longhorns. I am really hoping to be in the leadership position for the Big 12 because there's only 10 teams there and it's kind of silly. I want to really work hard after that 2020 season or so that we play to start recruiting a couple other teams to join the Big 12 to make that conference stronger, the SSG Big 12, of course. So So again, that's just little things that we're doing there. But you'll be able to see all this different history and so on. You can already see the different season records. And again, this is just from the kind of the modern era, as you want to call it, the tournament era. So it's only been about 5 years of history, but you can see just some of the different things that are there. And again, you can look at the different team rosters and so on. So all of that information's there. You can see the Texas Longhorn team that I decided to take. And so yeah, really cool league. We're just getting started. It's going to be slow. The very first sim is going to be in February 1st. So if I click back, you can also see on the website that there is a section that will show you the calendar. And on this calendar, if you scroll down, you'll see how we're going to how we are going to run the 2019 season starting February 1st with staff offers. So you start off at the beginning of the 2019 season where you can either rehire, fire, or hire new staff. And so we'll be doing that. You can see it's going to take us about 3 weeks just to get through that part. Really slow burn. It gives you a lot of time to get acquainted or to get active in other leagues. Of course, you have other things going on in your life as well. And then eventually after that, we will be moving forward through the season. And we'll be actually, it's kind of interesting how it played out. Our bowl games will actually be played on the 4th of July, which will be kind of an interesting thing. And then eventually that season will end around mid-July, just in time for us to transition over, start over with the staff offers now for the 2020 season. And this season will start right up to when the real life season starts, August 22nd. And going all the way up through rivalry week and the championship week, and then we'll set up the bowl dates and semifinals and so on to coordinate with the real life schedule there. So that's the schedule. Let's see what else is up there for this league right now. Not a whole lot. Yeah, again, we're just building it as we go. But if you're interested, definitely reach out. We're looking to add people. There's some information on Twitter that we've been sending out. So again, that's kind of the first schedule item there was after the community note was just talking about that new league and how exciting that's all going to be. So the next thing is we have a brand new member here with SSG who reached out to us earlier this week actually, and who wanted to, has a real strong passion for writing. And you probably have heard this name before if you're in the kind of this PC sim community. And that is a guy named Tiger Fan. And Tiger Fan is somebody I've come across first on the Out of the Park boards. We crossed paths on the Wolverine Studios board doing the beta testing for the college football 2020 game. And he reached out and wanted to do some writing for us. Tiger Fan, you can see in his Out of the Park forum here, his profile here on Out of the Park, over 8,000 posts on Out of the Park alone. And a lot of them have to do with different dynasty threads and whatnot. This guy is active, all right? So he has been super active for us, writing content right now just for our baseball league. And keep in mind, he came into this league, a league that started in 2015 in real life, and has been going on. And so he's been able to come in and start producing content for us as kind of just a pseudo reporter for this league. He'll be doing the same thing for the college football league. So it's really cool to see. But again, just yesterday, or actually today, he posted a series that he's calling 9 Innings with Markle, and his pen name, Clifton Markle, here is what he's using for his pen name. But he's gone through and just kind of listed the top 9 things that he's seen kind of throughout the league so far in just his short time of just kind of looking at some decisions that are happening, and you can check that on the website and read through all of those. But it's really cool because Clifton has done an incredible job of really pushing some other folks now to get more involved with the writing. Again, we have different owners now. Kevin writing up a little write-up about the fact that the Cardinals claimed Ivan Nova, and we have Jake, who is our new Braves general manager, who just joined us this offseason. He's going to be doing a top 10 series, so he's done the top 10 catchers so far, and I think first basemen are coming out pretty soon. And so again, just really cool content. By the way, if you ever wanted just to stream all of the baseball news, you can click this link here, and that will take you to all of the different baseball stories only if you wanted just to kind of streamline all of that. So tons of really good stuff going on. Again, Clifton Markle has been incredibly active since he's joined us. Again, Tiger Fan. and we're just super excited. I mean, this stuff is in-depth writing, and he's doing a fantastic job, and it just adds a tremendous amount to the league. And the beauty is that anybody can do this sort of thing, right? This published content tab will kind of walk you through how to get involved if you wanted to actually publish content. What happens from there is it will ping our SSG staff that there's a pending story for review. We'll give it a quick look, give it a read, just kind of put a couple bells and whistles on that we need it to kind of work on the website properly, and then it will get published. Not only that, but it gets automatically tweeted out, it gets sent to our Facebook page, and it gets sent out to our Discord chat. So folks get notified all the time on these different things, and this will kind of walk you through how to do it. You create an account basically through our forum, and then when you go back to the site, you'll have some options here to go in and start posting some different things. So I wanted to publicly welcome and thank Mr. Markle here for his contributions so far in just the short time that he's been joining us earlier this week, and he's done a tremendous amount. And I know he was just waiting for our college football league to start populating some of that history to go through and start talking about some of that too. So it's super, super exciting. It's been really, really fun to read, and just super grateful that he's here. So he's inspiring us, and again, I think it's going to be really, really cool for the leagues we have going on. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the Out of the Park Baseball League. And again, we're in the off season, so we're just going to do a quick recap because this stream here is just a little bit of a shorter one. We are up to about 16 minutes now, and so it's just kind of a quick weekly recap of some things going on. And we've had some free agent signings, we've had some trades and so on. And again, you can actually see all of that as well underneath this Out of the Park Baseball tab, right? So if you go to reports and then standard reports, everything you'd really want to look at for this league is going to be very similar to what's populated in the game. So again, you can see the different transactions that have been going on, some of the basic news. If you want to look at top prospects, leaderboards from the previous season, there's tons of stuff there to take a look at. This league is full. We do have a waiting list, but I am very candid in saying that I do not go from the top of the waiting list. I'm one of the commissioners in this league, and I don't go off the top of the waiting list. I want very, very active people who are more on the tech savvy side, who can kind of get through and understand, say, how to use WordPress or Discord and those sort of things. Again, it's not mandatory, but it helps. It just makes the league better, right? Because if you're comfortable getting onto WordPress or comfortable writing something, it's going to add to the experience for the other 29 people in the league. And so that's something we look for. We don't have a ton of turnover in this league, and so we get, it's probably less than one a month easily. And so, in the off season, I think we've had a couple that happen here at the end of the year, and that's to be expected. And so, but this league has always been full, really from day one. It's very rare when we have openings pop up. One of the best ways to get an opening, though, is to become an active member of the SSG community by joining other leagues, like say the College Football League, because then we can start to see your activity level and things like that, and that can help us just really see more than you could in any sort of application for the league of how you would be as a participant in that league. So, but again, the off season, if I pull up the game here, give me 1 second and I'll quickly log in. Oops. Okay. So again, logged in on the commissioner mode here. And let me get rid of my face. There we go. So, if we just kind of go around, I love looking at this off-season tracker page, or what do they call it? The off-season center. Really, really cool. Just to kind of give you the top overall, the remaining 25. And this is dynamic. This updates as you go through the off-season. So right now, still really, Matt Kemp's been at the top for a while, but he has some restrictions on him, right? He's going to be a compensation eligible free agent. It looks like the White Sox have been involved. He's demanding a lot of money, but that does not mean that the White Sox or any other team have to offer him that sort of money. You can see Matt Carpenter is maybe returning to the Reds here, which is where he played previously in this league. And again, Justin Verlander is a guy I think will probably end up signing during spring training when the compensation falls off. And we'll see if Matt Kemp hangs around that long. It's only a few months away at this point, so we're starting to come up here. But some recent signings: Cleveland has re-signed their closer, Cody Allen. who they actually moved to Detroit. And so he actually has come back now to Cleveland. And I don't know if that was a trade or a signing. Yeah, so he was traded by Cleveland to the Tigers. So that actually worked out nicely for Cleveland, as they end up getting him back after the Tigers let him go at the end of the offseason. And again, he'll be making about $4 million a year. Actually, team option for 2021, and then a player option. So that's a really smart deal for Cleveland. It's really very, very low risk this first year if he doesn't pan out. Great. It's really kind of a 2-year option at this point, because I imagine he would pick up the 5.8 when he's 33 years old. So we'll see. I would be surprised if Cody Allen hangs around for a second year, unless Cleveland maybe finds themselves on the cusp of a playoff berth, or ends up getting a deep run and they think they can do it again, that sort of thing. And Gomes with a big recent signing. He has come back to Washington again after being in Cleveland previously, and really, really nice defensive catcher. So Yan Gomes is going to be returning to Washington for his second year there. And let's see, who else were some recent signings. This was a big one. Didi Gregorius has signed with the Boston Red Sox after being in Atlanta the last few years, and actually took less money. I can tell you that for a fact, because my Angels were offering him $7.5 million for 3 years. I think the trick was years 2 and 3 were vesting option years, and so we have a young prospect named Ben Simmons in our organization. Don't quite know when he's ready. I would say the earliest is maybe mid-season 2020, but probably certainly by the start of 2021. And I didn't want to end up creating a logjam with Didi, so we kind of gave ourselves some out. But Didi decided to take the guaranteed money here, which over 2 years is more money and does make more sense for him to do that. And so really like Didi Gregorius, good defensive shortstop. As he's approaching 30 here for this season, we will probably start to see that taper off. But he's been pretty darn good. He was really good last year defensively. And again, not great, but just a solid shortstop. And so, again, over the last week or so, those were kind of the biggest signings, the biggest happenings. There were some trades as well. And if we just look at the major ones, we can scroll down and see if there's any worth taking a look at. And there were some good ones, and I'll probably just say, if you want to look at those deals closer, you can do so again on the website. If you go back to this section here, you'll be able to go in and same thing, click on the transactions. You're going to see that exact same screen I was just showing you. So again, all of that there would be available for you to take a look at. So again, those are the things going on right now with SSG. I want to again thank the community for their just outpouring of support. Again, that was close to $600 just in over 2 months maybe or so. I mean, it was really, really quick, and it's just super, super appreciated. And again, if you do want to donate further, or if you want to donate again or make a first donation, there is a link up on the website. You can do that. I think it's on the right-hand side of the site, and that goes to a secure PayPal account where that will come. And then we keep that. We have a board of directors with SSG who oversees all of that, and we keep tabs on everything and keep running receipts and so on. But it's 100%, just things that we're using for the league at this point. So, again, we're just kind of just getting by at this point with it all. So, but it's cool because when this all started, it was completely out of pocket for me. So it's nice to have the kind of the second year of this not come out of my pocket this time. It's nice to have the community help out with that, because as you see, it's not cheap, and those bills definitely come up pretty quickly. So again, thank you for that. The Draft Day College Football League, I'm super excited about this. By the way, a little spoiler, we will be running a pro league as well in the fall. And so if you're looking to kind of get into that football universe of being in a college league while also being seeing your players graduate, going to the pro league, that sort of thing, we're going to be using the Wolverine Studios Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2020 as well. Same thing on a real life schedule, where we're going to merge those two leagues and have them running simultaneously. And we're probably going to do the exact same thing with the basketball leagues, assuming we have some people in the community who want to help out and commish those leagues. So, really, really cool stuff with that. Again, Tiger fan joining us as Clifton Markle, who is our fantastic beat reporter on all things SSG. And then again, we took a quick look at the SSG offseason, or for the SSG Baseball offseason. So, That's going to do it, though. We're at about 25 minutes now of this stream, so just a really quick recap for the week. And again, planning to do some more just baseball streams, especially as the season starts picking up, and we'll definitely be doing some college football streams exclusively once the football season gets underway. And it's not just me, right? So if other people have ideas, they want to do things like this on YouTube, writing is not something they're comfortable with, creating a video like this is another option. There's lots of different ways to get involved, and it's what helps them to grow the community, what makes the community stronger and more enjoyable for everyone. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mike Lowe, SimSportsGaming.com. I'll see you next week.